Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Big Chads with audio. Twice as fun. What's up, everybody? That was a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging with me. December 28th, 2021. Emergency live stream. What's going on, folks, out there in the Twitter sphere, out there in the social media world? It's just me and you. We're having fun. We're just guessing, okay? We're trying our best every day to get a little bit better. You know, I just did a 7.5-minute video with no audio, and this allows me a little bit of a redo. Maybe even I can be more articulate than I was a little while ago. So we're going to try it again. We're here to have some fun, a little bit of a live stream, a little impromptu live stream. Hopefully not too serious. We're going to make it a learning experience. You know, what I said last time is when I got started, I got wrecked so many times. Different markets, you know, got wrecked in different ways. And I kept thinking, I got it figured out. Let me try this little system. Let me try that system. Let me try this trick. Let me try that trick. You know, the more complicated I made it, the worse I did. So everything I do is to help you avoid going through what I went through. And all of this is a continuation of that. You know, when I help you avoid my old mistakes, that's why I'm Big Chads. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm having a lot of fun. So, you know, let's roll right into it. All right. You can find me, of course. You're going to find me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Big Chads. I do a lot of academic observations about price, a lot of the trading psychology, that kind of stuff. I want to remind you that my book is available, the free version. Let's get back here. Wow, I went all the way into that. Let's go to my channel. How about that? So if you go to playlists and you go to, so let's start with this. You're just getting started. You want to know, you know, how do I use a moving average and what's support and resistance? How do I structure my trade? How do I set my stop loss? How do I take profit? You must go to educational live streams. These videos will save you years of trading. These are tutorials. These are master classes I've done for free for you. And what I do is kind of review 6 to 8 months of Bitcoin price action in each of them. I'm kicking around the idea of doing like a 2021 year in review type of thing. I may or may not do that, but this last video, it's aged quite well. It's really good. Check it out. It's going to help you learn. It's going to answer a lot of questions. You may follow me on Twitter at Big Chads, right? And you may not understand what I'm talking about, some of the words and phrases I'm saying. So you can definitely, I would encourage you to check that out. I've been doing long form interviews. I've done 2 so far. One with my good buddy, Crypto Burb, who's a CMT, just took a CMT 3 test. Good luck to you on that. We've got a bet going on, by the way. So we'll see by the end of Litecoin price, by the end of January. It'll be fun to see if that plays out. And my other good buddy, Big Jonas. I got some more guests lined up. So check out the long form interview series. Check out these emergency live streams. You know, let me just fix this over here. Just give me 1 second. So check out these emergency live streams. They're going to kind of get you started if you're not sure. You know, it's the same thing with the educational live streams. Just 1 second here, folks. I do apologize. One thing I want to make sure I have all set. Some of my settings there. Let's get that party started. Thank you for bearing with me. All right. And we're going to roll right back into it. All right. So check out my stuff on my YouTube channel. Please do hit like. Please hit subscribe. And of course, if you do go to the Banter Crypto page, Crypto Banter, and you go to their YouTube, click on playlists. I have a show on there. I've done 13 great episodes, amazing guests, really kind of some of these more kind of long form interview type of experience and trading wisdoms as well, that kind of thing. So check that out as well. A lot of good free stuff. And of course, if you're serious about learning how to trade, I'm very proud of the fact I'm a founding analyst at Bitcoin.live. I do 2 long form full market updates twice a week. I have not missed an update in years. I'm on vacation. I get it done. We have a great team. I'm really proud of being part of that community. There's people here clearly DMing me, telling me, hey, dude, there's no volume. on your audio. That's pretty funny. So let's get caught up right now. BTC MA200 hanging right there. I'm going to jump into the chat room. What's up, Iron Mike? How we doing? No dance? Yeah, I gave a dance, Keiko. There's always a dance. We'll do a dance at the end. No doubt about it. I've always got some dance for you, my man. Good to see you. You're amazing. It's funny, why so serious? I don't know about that, I'll address this one, by the way. Someone asked me about the mask, and I'll say it again. Like, it's privacy, right? It's just what it's all about. It's not politics. I'm not like trying to say something about COVID. It's just privacy. And people say, well, why not do just audio? Well, I feel like body language. Look at my hands moving. Look at the setting. You can see a little bit more of the essence of who I am. You can still get more of the message across with the visuals. Privacy is important to me, but I do enjoy doing these videos. This guy says no sound was better. You're right. I'm going to say a lot of dumb stuff. So no sound was definitely better. Let's see. Music off. Wow. And the music was off. Turn off the music. Whatever. We can hear you. Everything's good. We're just winging it, folks. Nobody knows what they're doing. I don't know if you see my tweet. I put out a tweet where I said, nobody, daily reminder, right? Daily reminder that the people you follow have no idea what they're doing. So you might as well get a textbook right here. Daily reminder, and it's true. All these people you look up to, and you just retweet them because they put out something that fits with your bias. Make sure we're still on. They just put out something. There you go. They just put out something that kind of fits with your bias, and that makes you happy. Right? Why don't you just learn? Read a textbook. They're not that expensive, right? So anyway, daily reminder, most of the people you follow and look up to on social media have no idea what they're doing. I've been kind of all over the place. I want to apologize for that. Let's get things started here from a technical analysis standpoint. Then I will jump into the chat room and I'll kind of talk to people. Zena Bitcoin.live. It's in the video description. I also tweet it out all the time. So check the video description on this, or go to my page, really any of the videos. You'll be able to see that. Let's see. So Bitcoin, what are we doing? So, big picture, we've been talking about the weekly chart, which is in an uptrend, but what I would consider to be a threatened uptrend. Okay. Threatened uptrend because kind of the key level to hold has been that weekly MA50, and we're right there, right? We kind of barely held it back in July, came close and tested it in September. And then, right here, we closed below it last week, and then we had this big green week. So let's talk about the concept of a bullish engulfing candle. Let's see. I'm going to get something for you. I have a candlestick. Let's see. Bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing. This is probably fine. Let's use this. All right. So check that out. So it says bearish engulfing, but imagine it's a bullish engulfing. And the point here is you can see the second candle is a much larger candle than the first candle, right? And we're talking about the candle body. We're not talking about the candle wicks, right? In classical charting, it's called an outside bar, where the entire range eclipses the prior range candle. Here, it's just the candle body. So when you look at this and you get everyone pumping and saying it's a bullish engulfing, I mean, this red candle is what? 80% it's almost as big as the green candle. So it's engulfing, but barely. All right. You think about candlestick signals, you want to put them all in context. Where are they in relation to the Bollinger Bands? And probably most importantly, what's the volume behind it? Look at the volume, right? So you take it's a 2-candle combination. It's a short-term reversal pattern, bullish engulfing. There's actually less volume on the green candle than the red candle. It's not a great signal, but if you see your favorite person on Twitter tweeting out bullish engulfing, what are you going to do? You're going to retweet it, and you're going to ape in. You're going to buy in at 51 with no stop loss, 50K with no stop loss, right? You got to put things into context. We've had a lot of interesting action here on lower time frames recently, right? We monitor this key pivot. We talked about it in my last emergency live stream. By the way, these emergency live streams are rare. It's whenever I feel like it. And I do most of my video work on Bitcoin.live. But I'll do some of these kind of variety show stuff on YouTube as well. We've been monitoring that 48.5 key pivot level. It was pretty apparent, right? We'll talk about levels, horizontal levels. You want to structure your trade based on a horizontal level, not some diagonal that you could draw this way or this way or this way. Get out of here. Focus your trade and execute your trade based on a key horizontal level. Bitcoin gave you a beautiful throwback, a beautiful buy signal, and then a throwback, which is a bullish retest, not a back test. You see people saying back test. It's not a back test, it's a retest. All right. And had a beautiful retest, and it bounced right off of that. But what did it do when it bounced off of that? And why do I have shorts? I have shorts from 52K. It did a classic up thrust, right? 576 of you, my love to you, big chats to you folks out there, wherever you are in the world. We had the classic up thrust where you established a resistance or a high, you came back and you kind of broke through that, but with a higher high. And this almost looks like what happened with Bitcoin, where you have kind of that double top. So now that we've completed it, we'll draw it. We'll take that measured move. We'll take the height from what are called the peaks, peak 1 to peak 2. We'll take that height and we'll extend it down from the breakdown point. So really, we're kind of right there. So whatever, on the 4 hour, the double top played out. But that's not necessarily as important as just focusing on key horizontals. You're struggling as a trader. You can't get it right. Here's why you can't get it right. You're trying to long a bearish chart. Like, let me give you Litecoin, right? You keep trying to go long in Litecoin, all right? Like it's a bear trend, a confirmed downtrend, right? Rather than going long in, BNB or trying to go long in Matic, right? Buying a dip in an uptrend, you're making the mistake of buying VET or buying LTC, of buying like a weak chart, trying to guess when it's going to reverse. All right. Secondly, you're trading off these random diagonals. I mean, diagonals, it's just anybody can draw a diagonal. What's the point? But it's subjective. It's not a price level. A diagonal is about the trend. It's not about a level, right? Like a trend line is about the trend, not the line. It's not about basing a trade because it's retesting a line. All right. I'm bouncing around here, but this just drives me crazy. It just absolutely drives me crazy. Oh, we broke out. Okay, great. Oh no, it's just a retest. Just a retest. It's just a retest. Like, what's the point? You could retest it down to nothing. When you figure, especially if you're a new trader, just focus on horizontals. And the price is clean. It's neat. It's clean. Look how easy this trade setup was. If you are struggling, stop and do nothing until you get a setup this easy again, to where you have a clearly established resistance. If I can ever figure out how to use TradingView. If you have a clearly established resistance and then you get a clear breakout, you either buy the breakout, right? Like, so how do you structure your trade? All right, let's talk about trade structuring. You've got a really well-established level, right? You want to listen to the price. Your whole philosophy is listening to the price, and the price is telling you, I'm rejected at 49.5, and then I'm rejected again at 49.6. If we can break up above that, I know I can go long there because that's my thesis, that's my trade idea. I can go long there because if it fails, I can get out. I love going long here. Because it's at a key level and I'll know really soon if it fails because I'm out, right? All these people I see in these like tweets to me, and I love you guys, but I'm telling you, as I get bigger, I can't reply to everybody anymore. I used to have my DMs open. I literally used to reply to everyone, and I give you everything, but I can't do it anymore. So I try to make these videos. I do other stuff. But they'll tell me like I bought in like whatever up here, and then I bought in here, and I didn't sell, or like what do I do? It's like every single trade you execute, you need to know when that idea fails, and you need to stick to it and just get out. Save your powder, save your money for another battle. Anyway, I love to go long here. It's a clearly established level. And then you get rejected. It's 4 hours. So you're looking at the 4-hour MA 200. That's been the key level, especially with this price distance. With this type of price distance from the 200, right? Look at that, all that price distance. We were so far down, the overreaction drop. You're going to have a relief rally. I mean, you're probably going to reject that first touch. We rejected. And where did we bounce? I'm going to try to be more clear here. Wait until you have a setup this clear, where you clearly establish resistance, you break out, and then you wait for the retest. You entered there, you had a great trade, 49.5 up to 51.5, 52K. and then you had the up thrust, and that is a warning sign. Up thrust, where you break up above a resistance and you fail to hold it. Look at that follow through already. I loaded shorts at 52K because it was a psychological level, and I saw the up thrust, and you step back out, and at 52K level, you've got significance really in this area, the 52K to kind of 53.5 range. I mean, you understand that you're kind of bouncing into resistance. Anybody who's selling you a dream, if they're not at least pointing that out to you as it's a disservice, right? All this action, right? All this action below and above the MA 200, every bounce is just below this level. It doesn't matter. This is all just in the context of being below this level. It's just always been about this level. It was the high, the macro lower high. It was the bottom of this consolidation cluster. It's where it found support here at the failed head and shoulders. Like it was always going to be this level. So it doesn't mean the bull runs over because there's still a bull thesis. I tweeted it out, the weekly ascending triangle, but you're still going to expect it to kind of reject here, at least initially. So you're on the watch, and then you get these kind of like this nasty candle action. Look at that. Long leg doji, shooting star, or even a gravestone doji, really more of a shooting star the more I look at it. But you get these kind of more predominantly upper shadows. Like if you learn nothing about candlesticks, look at the candle shadows, especially here at the upper Bollinger. You got the lower Bollinger, the upper Bollinger move, then you get these kind of nasty rejection candles. Let's go back. I didn't want to do that. You get these nasty rejection candles, and you get that tower top, the BART. I mean, so shouldn't really be caught off guard, right? But the main bull thesis is still intact. The weekly ascending triangle is still intact. Bears have a new bear thesis developing with the head and shoulders. And it's a little bit of a debate where you might draw this neck baseline, is what it's called, like in the textbooks, or a neckline. I would probably just do it like that. That's how I draw my neckline, and that allows me to then take a measured move, kind of the height of the neck to the neck base, and then kind of you extend that down. So that's kind of just some basic classical charting. Gets you down to around 18, 19K, right? That's the bear thesis. Bull thesis, of course, ascending triangle, height of the triangle takes you up to 100K. So that's just me rambling. Let's see if you folks are still hanging around, 686 of you. Solid ideas. You make it look easy. I mean, it's not easy. Like the hardest part is really just managing yourself. It's not like if you have a good formulaic approach where it's more of like a computer program, like an if then, if this happens, I'll add to my risk. If this happens, I'll lessen my risk. That then you'll be fine kind of approaching things in that manner. I'm just gonna catch up a little bit in the chat room. I feel like I could pick you up by the hands. Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, all right. I don't know what to say about that. Let's see. Yo from Ireland. Yo, what's up? I have never been to Ireland, but I'd love to get there. So appreciate that. Hey, thanks for the super chat. You folks do not need to do that. Just being here, commenting, sharing, liking. That's kind of what I'd like you to do. So there's real no need, but I do thank you for that. But I'm definitely not like I don't need that. So thank you. Let's see. What time frame, Cheds, on what time frame candle closes rejection of horizontal confirmed? Cheds, on what time frame candle close? I'm not really sure I understand the question. You got like the topic of confirmation, right? Like a lot of this stuff is really user preference, right? So like let's take an example of just a clean horizontal line. And the idea that, like, when's it actually confirmed that this line has been, like, broken or flipped, right? And so for one person, it might be as soon as it breaks up above it. My mouse is being weird. As soon as it breaks up above it, you go long, right? But for someone else, they might wanna wait for one close. Hold on a second here. Technical difficulties, right? They might want to wait for it to close up above it, right? Someone else might want to wait for that like second close. So that's your filter, right? Everyone's a different filter. Someone else might have like a time filter. Let's call it the time filter where you would like, I want to be above it for 3 days and then it's confirmed, right? So like what is confirmation? Really, you have to decide what confirmation is for you. So in terms of the key horizontal, I mean, really the horizontal we're talking about is that 4-hour or the daily level I showed you earlier, 49.5. We're seeing really a break in market structure for bulls kind of short term, right? You understand the concept of stair stepping and building support. So once you establish this resistance, and especially having kind of reaffirmed it as a key, reaffirming it as a key level here, and then losing it, like that's not good. That's now resistance. So if we bounce here, any kind of like anybody who's actually studied a textbook is looking to short or take profit at 49.5 from the underside if we can get up to there, right? It's resistance right now. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Someone talk about FTM. All right. FTM. Sure, that's been a bullish chart. I actually put out a bearish read on it, and I took a lot of heat. And it didn't quite make the full target, but it did drop about 50%. We did have the head and shoulders with that target of like 70 cents. It dropped down to like 120. So I feel like that's something. I mean, it's clearly bullish right now. I mean, if you look at this recent momentum, you want to think about momentum, right? But then you say, well, wait a minute, it's still lower high. We still have our high. We still have this lower high, right? So we're still kind of, everything is still in that context. We're still a lower high. So really bigger picture, like bears still have a really solid argument until you get above, 270. And that's the bottom line. But relative strength just means if I look at, like, for example, how FTM has been doing versus how Bitcoin's been doing lately, or like XRP or something that's weak, right? It's like it's responded pretty well. Like it didn't really drop that much. If we kind of step back and look at like Bitcoin, look what Bitcoin did. That's what Bitcoin did, and then you look at what FTM did. Let's get it right up there just for the sake of this discussion. And you look at what FTM did, right? That's relative strength. I mean, people are like, whoa, what's relative strength? Is it RSI? And, I have a video where I talk about, you don't even need a video. Look at that. Just look at the difference in the charts. So it's relatively strong in comparison to Bitcoin. Clearly, you want to watch the EMA8, that rising exponential moving average support. Sheds, unloaded. Here's the deal, folks, right? Moving averages, patterns, these things work on any time frame. Trends are fractal, and these patterns work on any time frame, but the smaller the time frame, the weaker the signal. That's what it's all about, right? A longer time frame, stronger signal. So you can use an EMA cross. You could try to buy based on this 834 EMA cross. Were what on the daily, it wouldn't be as good as if it were happening on the weekly, for example, right? So that's the concept you want to keep in mind. Basically, the idea that and that's going to go right there. The longer the time frame, let's switch watch lists to. I don't want to mess up. That's a curated watch list for Bitcoin.live members. The longer the time frame, the stronger the signal, and that's basically the deal. All right. Hopefully that answers your question. Just checking everybody's. I didn't hear you. I'm stuck 600%. I mean, like, I've been there, right? Like, I've been really wrecked, and I've tweeted them out live. And on my blog, I have an interview where I talked about losing like $250,000 in a penny stock. Like, I get it. Like, I've had brutal losses. Like, why? A lot of what I do is because I've messed up really badly. I get it. You read the book and you understand. Like, you made the mistake. Guess what? I've made them too, and that's where the book comes from. So, I mean, there's no stuck though. But here's the thing though that I've learned, right? Making sure I'm still alive. I don't believe in the idea of being stuck. What does that mean? You're never stuck, right? When your idea fails, get out. You're not stuck. You're just choosing to remain in a failed idea. All right? If your idea has failed, get out, move on. There's no stuck. There is no such thing as stuck. I completely reject that. All right? What books do you recommend? Hey, Sultan, it's nice to see you, man. I would tell you right there, brother. If you go to my feed, um, Shaw Backer, I have the book on my bookshelf, literally right here. I have the green book, right? Technical analysis. I have the yellow book too. There's a bunch of books on top of it. I don't want to pull it out. My whole bookshelf will fall apart. Western technical analysis, right? Classical charting. Eastern technical analysis, Japanese candlesticks, and then my book. Yes, I wrote it, and like, yeah, I'm biased, but it's the best trading psychology book ever created, probably ever will be created. It's because I've lived it. I get it, right? You want to know Eastern, you want to know Western. My style is to blend them. It just worked for me to kind of read these two textbooks. I get it. It's worked. And if you like my style, that's why you're here. If you think I'm a jackass, like, cool. No hard feelings, right? No problem. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, right? Um, Give Big Cheds a like. Thanks, new one. Appreciate that, guys. Great content. Thank you, Joe B1. Appreciate that. Let's get back to the chart. You don't want to see my Twitter page. Let's see. Let's get some good questions real quick before I run out of feed. Look, what does that mean? A ZK roll up? I have no idea what that means. I stay in my lane. There's people to follow for certain things. I don't understand on chain. Like, I'd say go follow Will Clemente. I don't understand fundamental analysis. Go follow, a fundamental analyst. It's not me. I believe everything flows through the chart, and I simply watch price interaction with key levels, and it works. It works. It works. It works. I just avoid everything else. I have no idea what a ZK roll up is. It sounds like one of those fruit roll ups. I'm getting kind of hungry. I'll have a roll up, if you got one for me there. Let's see what's going on. Paul, hey, my man Paul is always in the house. Matic, good to see you, Paul, as always. You want Matic? Sure. That's a strong chart. I keep telling you want to play relative strength. One of my favorite phrases is that you should throw your funds in the direction of relative strength. Right? That's what we're doing. It's like, imagine you're at a roulette table. Is it roulette or is it craps? I only play poker. The one where you put dollar amounts on the numbers, they spin the wheel. I think that's a roulette wheel. It's pretty naive of me I'm sure I sound naive, but pick the numbers that get hit more often, the relative strength. The stuff that has been doing well beforehand is more likely to do well. So, like, it's been like, oh no, what am I going to do environment? Like, maybe I'll play Matic. I'd say, okay, you're probably going to do okay. Or I'm going to play Sol or Luna, although Sol's had some breakdown in market structure. But Luna, for example, Matic has been incredibly strong. What has been hot is the best indicator of what will be hot, right? I know that's in here somewhere. It's literally less than 50. During those key market moments, scan through a list of your 8 to 10 favorite plays in the 1-hour chart and look for relative strength. Focus there to generate a better trade setup. Consider what was bullish before this across the board drawdown. The charts that were bullish beforehand had relative strength and are more likely to bottom than charts that do not. Matic, play strength. Stop messing around. Stop trying to guess when a downtrend is going to reverse. It's not going to happen. You're just going to keep adding all the way down. You're going to keep adding all the way down on your fancy little diagonal break, and you're going to keep telling yourself that you're just retesting all the way down to zero. Give it a rest. Matic strong, Paul. It looks great. I would just focus on this level right here. If I'm looking to get in, I want to buy a dip. I've got a little bit of price history at this level. Resistance turned into support. Short-term momentum, you definitely would want to see that hold. Simple horizontals, MA50. You buy at the MA50, you're really doing well here. You see all these pullbacks, all these retests or kind of drawdowns to the MA50. Maybe you buy around the MA50. Wait for a dip, right? Don't rush into it. Wait for a dip in an uptrend. Almost every uptrend will give you a dip. All right. All right. This has been fun. Let me just quickly scan the chat room real quick. You won the bet. I mean, yeah, of course I won the bet. I love Burb. Burb's my guy. Like, honestly, I have a lot of respect for the guy. When he put out that target, though, I thought he was joking. Like $1,000 this year, Litecoin. I thought it was like he was just being funny, but he was serious. So I took a bet. And we have a bet by the end of January that Litecoin is going to be $12.50. And if I win, he has to change his name to Little Cheds for a month. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure I've got that bet locked down. I do not think Litecoin's hitting 1250 by the end of January. Burb's my guy though. Um, not to quote you on it, how many years or what kind of profits should I have to become a full-time investing? You're playing with six figures. Well, like, here's the thing. Like, I don't like the idea of like playing with six figures. That's a lot of money. You shouldn't be like, even, I mean, hopefully I'm not jumping on you here, but like you're playing with six figures, it's a lot of money. Like when you're playing with money, you're kind of casual about it. Like you really got to respect that money. It's a lot of money. And also full-time investing. If you want to know investing, this is the wrong YouTube stream. I am a trader. I understand the trend. I understand momentum. I understand people. I have no idea about investing. I don't know what an L2, L1 fruit roll up, whatever that guy was asking, but I don't know about investing. But if you're trading, that's a lot of money. And your position sizes should be small in relation to your bankroll. I talk about bankroll management. I tweeted out that whole chapter earlier today on bankroll management. I'm not going to do it now. It's like 5 or 10, no play really should be more than like 5% of your whole bankroll. Bet small. But like your money doesn't matter. Like, bro, Ben, have you read a textbook? Like, tell me what textbooks you've read. Until you've read minimally the textbooks I've shown you, like, don't even think about being serious or making it as a trader. How many years? 7, 8 years? 5 years minimum if you put in hard work. Everybody's different. Maybe you can figure it out quicker than I have. I mean, if you do it, props to you. All right. What's my lowest time frame? Absolutely. I honestly though, I trade like if I'm trading like an out on the 1 hour chart. And here's the rule though. Here's the rule in classical charting is when you're approaching key levels, like we'll take Matic for example, and Matic has a real nice bounce here off that 240 level. We go back 5 or 6 hours to kind of this kind of price cluster. I could have gone to 15-minute. You can go to a lower time frame when the price is at a key level. That's the rule, right? Rule 1, the longer the time frame, the stronger the signal. But then rule 2 or rule whatever, rule A, rule B, you can go to a lower time frame when you're at a key level. So that's how you play it. I do scalp. I do trade all the time. I'm a degen. I'm just like you. Trust me. I'm just like you, but I've like taken it seriously. Making sure my mic's still on. I'm taking it seriously, and you haven't. It's the only difference. And you can do it. I'm showing you how to do it. That's what this is. All right. All right, folks. All right. Bat. Sure. You got it, man. Let's wrap it up real quick. Nate Vase. Are you related to my boy Tone Vase? Bat USDT. Let's take a look at it real quick. I'm running out of steam here, so we're not going to go on for too much longer. What are we doing, Bat? Let's go to the daily chart. All right, what do we got? I see a lot of sideways. I've covered this before. I see a lot of sideways, and it doesn't look bad. We're holding most of our moving averages. We're above the 200. We're above the 50, but it's still basically sideways. And the thing that concerns me is this kind of looks like this. It's kind of got that head and shoulders type look. Got that head and shoulders type look right at the same level. And it kind of looks like Bitcoin, what Bitcoin did with the kind of the May and this November top. So I'd be careful here. I mean, yeah, I'd be careful. But if you break up above here, you've got a nice clear long signal. So if you do get up above like 145, 146, I think you can go long. But I would be careful, right? What's the largest volume candle here? In recent memories, this red candle, this kind of goofy looking shooting star. We had the up thrust as well. So, I mean, I'd be careful. I'd be careful just because all this is in the context of that price movement. So I'd be careful here, brother. Relative strength, right? Like what's strong? FTM's been pretty strong. But the stuff, let's see, like near has been strong, but look at that. I mean, that's a level right now we're testing. Near's been strong. AVAX has been strong. Sol has been strong. The stuff you see me tweeting about Luna, that's been strong. Matic, I've covered all that stuff. That's relative strength. All right. All right, folks. I really, really appreciate you joining me tonight. I am Big Cheds. You can find me on Twitter at Big Cheds. You can find the book. It's on Amazon. 50 trading wisdom, 50 lessons every trader should know. I'm really proud of it. And it's helped a lot of people. And you guys, it's resonated, which is great. The Audible version is out now. You can't buy it. You can't afford it. I've got the free version on my YouTube. Go to the Trading Wisdom playlist, 50 lessons every trader should know. If you're new, you must go watch these educational live streams. They're going to explain, there's a lot of questions in the chat room, and I'm probably going to see them later. I didn't see them now, but a lot of them are probably answered just by watching this video. Watch the educational live streams. Great value there for you. It's free, so of course it's great value. Check out my other stuff I've got going on as well. My Ask Me Anythings and my emergency streams. Go to the Crypto Banter YouTube. Check out Trading Wisdom's playlist. I have 13 great episodes so far. Great guests. We talk Bitcoin. We talk everything. And of course, Bitcoin.live. I'm a proud founding analyst. I've been doing it for 3.5 years. I do not miss an update. You can count on me. I'm all about teaching you. I'm not going to hand you a fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish. I take it seriously. Check with the other members, see what they think. I'm really proud of that. Hopefully you get a chance to check that out. So that's kind of that, Thank you for allowing me to kind of talk about myself. If I missed your question, I apologize. As insofar as much as I tried, and you can't get to everybody's questions, no doubt, but I enjoyed the fact that you took some time to hang out with me here tonight on Tuesday the 28th of 2021. We had some fun. So that's just Big Chet's having fun, doing what I do, and being happy to be alive another day. Happy to be here with you. Let's get this party flowing. Oh, I'm not a DJ. That's my boy Melker. All right, y'all. Have a great night out there. Stay safe. All the love in the world. Big Chet's out.